Hey everybody, welcome back to the Jersey Zone. We have some big Jersey news to talk about today, mostly to do with the Anaheim Ducks and LA Kings, but there are some other teams kind of sprinkled in there, and a lot of this information does come from icethetics' newest JerseyWatch video. I'm sure you guys have already seen it, and if you haven't, on the off chance, definitely do go check that video out, because I'm not going to be going through every single thing that he talked about in this video here. I don't really want to do that. I feel like it's a little bit rude and almost kind of like stealing, except for we do completely different content. He does much higher quality. I just can't really do that, or at least I don't know how to do that stuff. I would love to learn just so I can implement some of that stuff into my content, but yeah, as of right now, have no idea. Either way, like I said, I'm not going to go through every little thing that he said in that video there, so recommend you guys go check out that video if you haven't done so already. I'm sure you guys already have though. Although unfortunately for Chris, even though he did mention the Ducks and Kings in that video, the more exciting news kind of came after the video came out, as he tweeted basically a day later, getting more updates since posting the new JerseyWatch video yesterday. I can now confirm that the LA Kings and Anaheim Ducks will have a new uniforms and new primary logos next season. Rebrand Bonanza coming to SoCal this summer should be out by the NHL draft. So that is very exciting news. The draft is on June 28th, so we should be seeing these jerseys within the next 20 days, at least according to this tweet. So I'm very, very excited about it. Now, before we do get into the little details here that we know of so far, if you guys are new to the channel and you like hockey jersey content, please make sure to subscribe. I would really appreciate it. Okay, so what do we know about the Ducks so far? Well, it's mostly just with their logo itself, and it's a lot of, well, it's not this, and it's kind of like this. I'm just really going off aesthetics tweets here, honestly. So he initially started off by saying it's a modernized version of the Mighty Ducks logo in orange, black, and gold. He later added on that he was told that there is a new duck foot and that it will be a secondary mark. So this is sort of going away, but maybe slightly coming back. We'll kind of have to see exactly what it ends up looking like, but it is just going to be the shoulder logo. It's not going to be the main logo anymore, which I know a lot of people are very, very excited about. Obviously, this change is a long time coming. People have very much wanted the Ducks to change their jerseys for an extremely long time now, especially their logo. They've always wanted them to go back to the Mighty Duck logo, but it's interesting that he does say a modernized version of the Mighty Duck logo. So it appears that they aren't going straight back to the Mighty Duck logo with just like new colors or anything like that, because we've seen that a few times before. You know, people were speculating that the orange third jersey would become the home jersey and the reverse retro would become the away. I honestly would have really liked to see that, you know, or at least use those logos. Apparently though, according to Chris, they are not quite the same as those logos. The new logo is just a little bit different. It's just been redesigned slightly compared to those two logos. So it appears like we are going to be seeing a brand new logo. Now, how different is it really going to be from like this one here or that reverse retro 2.0? Maybe not that different. We'll kind of have to see. Either way, people have been going crazy with concepts since that tweet there, which I always love. I love to see new concepts. One that I want to highlight here today is from ABSLS World. His name is Shane. I'm just going to call him Shane. I'll link to his Instagram in the comments, or in the description, I should say, down below. Just calling him Shane will make it easier for me, but he did a concept here that I actually really do like a lot. So this is basically, you know, a little bit of a mix in between that 30th anniversary crest and the Mighty Ducks crest that you usually see, basically, like I said, on this jersey right here. I absolutely love this concept here, both the home and the away. I think they're both very, very nice. Just that point of view change for the duck mask does really do a lot for the logo there, and I absolutely love the colors. Obviously, I mean, I do think the colors for the Anaheim Ducks are really nice. I still do like the old colors for the Ducks, but I think their new colors are still pretty good. I think most people just really did not like this logo. I think it was really the logo that was everybody's problem. But if you do look into the shoulders there, you can see that he did kind of make a new logo for the WebD. Obviously, it is still the regular WebD, just with a roundel there, and it says Anaheim Ducks, something that I don't really like too much, but of course we don't really have too much information on what that new kind of secondary mark will look like, if it is going to be completely new or if it is going to be, you know, something like this. We're not really quite too sure at this point, so it's a little bit difficult to come up with something new there. But yeah, out of all the concepts that I've seen so far, I do think that this one is probably my favorite. Now, do I think it's likely that they go to something like this? No, I don't think so. I don't think that this is the modernized Mighty Duck logo that they would go to. But I still think it's really cool. I don't think a lot of people would like it. I've seen just a ton of people say that they just want, you know, the old Mighty Duck logo back, the old Mighty Duck colors back, just go straight back to those jerseys. And even though I do really like those jerseys a lot, I think they're fantastic, I don't want the Ducks to do that. I really don't. I'd much prefer if they did something like Shane's concept, you know, an updated version of an older design, something that I've always pushed for. I don't love when teams just go straight back to like their old classic designs and they make absolutely no changes there. It's one thing that I really loved about the Vancouver Canucks new skate jersey. You know, it is still a throwback to those skate jerseys. A love note to the previous skate jerseys and how awesome they are, but it is still modernized. They still made some changes. They weren't shy to do that, and I absolutely love that jersey for it. I think it looks so good, and I think it is better than the older skate jersey as well. All that to say is that I'm glad that it sounds like the Ducks aren't just going straight back to those old jerseys. You know, they're implementing their new color scheme, and it sounds like they're making some changes to the logo as well. So I am very intrigued on what that jersey is going to look like, and I think I will be happy with it, honestly, because if it is similar to those old jerseys, but with some little changes to it, I think I will like it a lot. All right, let's head into the LA Kings. So once again, with their logo, icethetics says that it's going to be a modernized version of the Gretzky era logo in black and silver with a new crown design inside. This one is really interesting to me because, of course, they do already have that Gretzky era logo with their third jersey, and I would say that it is modernized because it kind of has that shiny, almost rubbery material to it. It's very unique in the way that it's made, honestly, but it appears that at least the crown at the bottom of the crest is going to be changing there because, you know, people have been speculating, you know, what crown is it going to look like, and they sent him even like the Gretzky era crown, asking icethetics, is this what the crown is going to look like? And he said, no, it's going to look like a lot more like the original crown from like the 1960s and stuff like that. So I guess that crown is going to change. Maybe the rest of the logo changes. I don't really know. I'd be surprised if they just make that little of a change on those new logos because the crown really isn't that big. I'm very interested to see what these new logos are going to look like. To me, I do feel like they are just going to make a black version of that third jersey, make that the home, and use their current third jersey as the away, which they did do during the playoffs, of course. If you guys remember, they just didn't have the silver helmets. They just used white helmets, which was a little bit disappointing to me. I'll be honest with you. I really did like those silver helmets, but I understand most people don't really like them. And if they are going to be using them as the away jersey, I get having silver helmets on the road all the time is kind of a lot. So yeah, I understand them kind of moving away from that. But yeah, I don't think it's going to be super complicated for the Kings. Just like I said, a black version of the third jersey as the away, and then the crown changed just slightly, I guess, to an older 60s crown. And I think just doing that, I think a lot of people will be happy about it. I'll be happy about it, that is for sure. This is something that, you know, people have always asked for a very long time. People do not like the current Kings jerseys. I've come around to them a little bit recently, mostly just due to the silver implemented, having that kind of sparkly material to it, but I still would like a change for the Kings. So if they do decide to go, you know, basically with what I'm thinking of in my brain, I think I will like it quite a bit. Anyways, those two teams aside, let's get into some news that's going to be a little bit quicker here. Starting off, we have Utah news, more Utah news, even though we just talked about them a few days ago. There's more news that came out since that video. So first, let's talk about the logos. So there's been 3 more logos that have been released. Let's go ahead, check them out. All right, so these pictures also do come from icethetics. He posted it on his Twitter, so I was like, this is kind of the easiest place to get them in high resolution. So the first one here, obviously, we already looked at in the previous video. Not great. The next one that we have is the Utah State outline. This one I do like a decent amount. I think it would work well as a shoulder patch. Basically just have that as a shoulder patch. Maybe remove the hockey club at the bottom. I don't think that's needed. But you know, outside of that, I think it could be a decent one, at least for your first season. Next, we just have Utah with a 2 stripe there, you know, a light blue and then a white stripe, and then at the bottom, hockey club. Don't love that. I don't think that's very good. Lastly, though, we have Utah just in the middle of a big stripe. And honestly, I think this one is my favorite out of the 4 that we've had so far. And this, I think, could work well on the front of a jersey. And I think I would be okay with it. Like, if they do decide to just have Utah on the front of their jerseys, and that's it, that's all they're going to have, I think if this is the direction they go in, it's the way that I would be most fine with it. Like, that's basically the only way that I would be like, all right, I might like these jerseys, like maybe. Any other way, I don't think that I would like it, but, you know, it's kind of like the Detroit, you know, reverse retro 2.0 jerseys, you know, those types of jerseys, you know, at least just that Detroit jersey in general. I actually don't mind it. I know a lot of people don't like it. Personally, I think it's kind of fun. I like it. I feel like it's a bit underrated as a reverse retro, but yeah, this logo, I think that it could work. So I'm hoping that this is what they use for the jersey itself. If they do that, I'm intrigued. So this gave me a little bit of hope, which I was not expecting. I will say that. So I'm interested. One thing that I'm not as excited about, though, is the team name. So, of course, the other day on the Pat McAfee show, Ryan Smith, the owner of the Utah team, said that they were down to 4 names. Apparently, it is actually 6 names instead. So they have released that list, and they have already started voting on that. So you can vote on which team name that you want. But the reason I'm upset about this list is because Swarm is not on it. Swarm is out of the running, apparently. I am very, very disappointed. That was my front runner. That was the one I wanted to win. I thought it would be so cool. There's just so much, cool integration that you have with the Swarm, just the name itself. You have the team swarming and everything like that. You could call the arena the Hive. It's just, the Beehive State is what Utah is. There was just so many different things that I think could have been really fun with the Swarm as a team name. And yeah, unfortunately, it did not get through to the second round here. So yeah, I'm a little bit disappointed. But here are the ones that we have left. So we have Utah Mammoth, Utah Yeti, Utah Blizzard, Utah Venom, Utah Outlaws, and Utah Hockey Club. Well, first of all, Utah Hockey Club, no go for me. I don't even count that as an option. If that does end up being the team name, the permanent team name, I'm going to freak out. It's just, I can't see that happening. I don't even know how it's still here. I feel like the only reason it's still here is because either A, people were trolling and just picked it, or B, they forced it in there because it is going to be their team name for the first year. So they at least want people to think hey, maybe it's an option. Either way, it would be worst case scenario. And I would just absolutely, there is no world that I can even think of that being the case, because if it does happen, it's going to be a bad time. Outside of that, though, the other names, really aren't that bad. Blizzard, not really a fan of, but, I do like Venom and Outlaws. I was, those I was pretty high on from the get-go. Mammoth and Yeti, I've talked about a few times now that I just don't like those team names because they are singular, not plural. They're not mammoths or yetis, but I do think Yeti is going to be the one that comes out on top. It's what it seems like to me. It seems like that is going to be the front runner. It seems like that is going to be the winner. I'd be really surprised if it's not at this point, because yeah, just everybody seems to love it. To me, I'm just okay on it. I'm fine with it. I'll probably end up liking it a little bit more once I actually do see the branding and stuff like that. So, I'm not going to be a complete hater from the get-go if they do end up going with that name. I'll have to see exactly what they do with all of their branding and stuff like that before I really, have a full opinion on it. But for now, not great. Okay, but let's move on to Fanatics. We're just going to go over some quick stuff that I think I have mentioned in videos before, but I just want to reiterate. The first one being that third jerseys are back. I know that I have said this in a video before, but I do want to keep saying it because in the video that I said that third jerseys might not be back, that video did pretty well. So I want to make sure that people do know third jerseys are coming back. A few of them aren't. Ones that we knew that weren't coming back, obviously, are the Anaheim Ducks 30th anniversary jersey, because that is just for one season. Same with the Boston Bruins third jersey, because that is also, an anniversary jersey as well. But other than those, the new third jerseys that we got this season are going to be sticking around, like the Rangers and Sharks and the Leafs, St. Pat's, stuff like that. As for the jerseys themselves, we've talked about it before. They are going to be basically the exact same as the Adidas jerseys, outside of the fact, of the Adidas logo changing to a Fanatics. They should be relatively the same. It's possible we might have a color change, but I feel like at this point, we probably would have heard something by now, and we haven't yet, so I don't think it's going to happen, but there is still a possibility that they slightly change up the collar. Outside of that, the player jerseys, apparently the dimples on those jerseys is going to kind of go away. There aren't going to be, the dimples there any longer, which I know people who do collect those made in Canada jerseys are going to be very upset about that because, they absolutely love those dimples. They go crazy for their dimples, the made in Canada collectors, which is very fair because from the pictures that I've seen, they look phenomenal, and I love them, even though I don't have a made in Canada, Adidas jersey. I would love one, but they're very expensive. So yeah, I know that made in Canada collectors are kind of upset about that it sounds like those dimples are going away, but outside of that, the regular Indo jerseys, the fan jerseys that people usually buy, those I think they are going to be pretty much the exact same, at least from everything that we've heard. There shouldn't really be any difference. Now let's get into talking about teams specifically, starting off with the Calgary Flames. Now Chris, in his video, icethetics, his name is Chris if you guys don't know, he said that Blasty is not going to be coming back, which I was very upset about. However, I have heard conflicting information that Blasty is staying, so I'm hoping that the other source here is correct, because I love Blasty. I think it's fantastic. It's not even my favorite Blasty jersey. I much prefer the OG, but just having a Blasty jersey is great, and I think the Flames should always have a Blasty jersey. So yeah, I would be very disappointed if they do decide to move away from Blasty. That is for sure. As for the other Alberta team, the Edmonton Oilers, they apparently are also getting rid of the third jersey. This one I'm happy about because I do not like that Edmonton Oilers navy blue third jersey. I think it looks awful. I do not like that jersey whatsoever. I think the colors are terrible. I don't like that it's just a two-tone jersey. It's just awful. Don't like that jersey whatsoever. So very, very happy that they're getting rid of that. Apparently, that would be great. Going all the way down to the Washington Capitals, though, they have their 50th anniversary season next year. So you would think that they would probably get some sort of jersey, but we don't really have any news on them as of right now. It will be interesting to see if they do get a jersey, and if they do, what would it be? Because yeah, they've already done throwbacks to their inaugural season jerseys, with their Winter Classics and, third jersey, stuff like that. They've done some throwbacks to those Screaming Eagles with the reverse retros. So would they do something new, kind of like maybe the Anaheim Ducks jersey, their 30th anniversary jersey? Would they do something like that where it's inspired by their old jerseys, but just, kind of a new thing? That would be really awesome. I would be down with that. Or maybe take a page out of the Buffalo Sabres book and just have a bunch of gold on their jersey. I would also like that as well. So yeah, I hope that the Caps do have something for next season. I really, really hope so, because I always love to see new jerseys, of course, and when it is a special occasion like a 50th anniversary or any kind of anniversary season, I always love to see new jerseys. So yeah, I hope that Fanatics allows them to do something and is okay with that, because at least from what we heard when Fanatics first took over, they really didn't want teams adding new jerseys for their first season. But with this Anaheim Ducks rebrand and the LA Kings rebrand, maybe they're a little bit more okay with it, and they do also have to do the Utah jerseys as well. I'm not really quite too sure. Maybe with just those, though, they have their hands full and they already knew that. So I don't really know. We'll kind of have to see, but I do hope that the Caps do get something for their 50th anniversary. That is my hope, at least. And the last thing that I want to quickly touch on here is the Winter Classic, more specifically the Blues themselves, because in that announcement graphic there, they actually used their old school logo. I didn't realize that when the graphic kind of first came up. I was just like, I kind of just quickly looked at it and went, okay, cool, and then left, scrolled away. But once I saw icethetics video, I was like, oh yeah, I didn't even realize that at all. And they usually do use the primary logo for teams in those graphics. So the fact that the Blues are using that throwback logo, does that mean that they are going back to those jerseys full time and they're going to use that 2016 jersey as the home and the 2022 as the away? I would love that. That would be great. But according to icethetics video, he says that it is unlikely. He's heard that the Blues are keeping it the exact same. They are still going to have that, third jersey, which is the 2016 Winter Classic, as the alternate jersey and keep their home and aways. But maybe we're in for a surprise. So him saying that, just him saying maybe we're in for a surprise, gives me a little bit of hope, because I would love for the Blues to rebrand into that 2016 and 2022 Winter Classic jerseys. Not that I don't like their jerseys now. I think their jerseys now are very nice, but I just like those other jerseys a little bit more. I think they're just a little bit nicer. So yeah, I'm going to be here hoping and praying, basically, because I absolutely love those jerseys. In terms of the Winter Classic logo, I haven't really talked about it on this channel yet, because honestly, I don't really have a ton to say about it. The only real interesting part about this Winter Classic logo, at least to me, is the fact that it does not have the year on it. All of the other previous Winter Classic logos did, but this one does not, because of the fact that it's taking place on December 31st, 2024, when technically it's the 2025 Winter Classic. The 2024 one, obviously, was played last year. Well, I guess still technically this year in Seattle on January 1st. So yeah, I guess since this is being played in 2024, they didn't want to add the 2025 to make it confusing, because that definitely would confuse some people. That is for sure. Like, unless you were paying really close attention, and I know some people already forget when some of these games take place. So yeah, it's understandable. I get why they did not put the year on this logo here, but yeah, like outside of that, I do think the bricks and the leaves look nice there. Like, I think it does look cozy. It is a very cozy Winter Classic patch. I think it would look nice on a jersey, but like, I don't have any wow, it does not wow me. It just looks nice. That's really all I have to say about it. If I was ranking all of the Winter Classic patches, I would definitely put it somewhere in the middle. I would give this one a 6 out of 10, because it's just fine. I think it also hurts it a little bit coming after that Seattle Winter Classic patch, because that Seattle one is so darn good, man. It is absolutely phenomenal. I think that one is probably my favorite Winter Classic patch, because it is just so good. It is real nice. But yeah, anyways, like I said, I didn't really have a ton to kind of talk about with that logo there, so I didn't want to make a solo video about it because, yeah, I would have been like a 30-second video. It wouldn't have been much to talk about. Anyways, that's going to do it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you guys think about all this news in the comments down below. Maybe mostly the Kings and the Ducks news. Are you guys excited about it? I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts. If you guys like this video, make sure to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, follow me on all my social medias, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.